All right, wanted to hop on here and talk about this eBay lot that is currently ending in 31 minutes. We're going to do a little bit of a breakdown on it and why I think I'm going to try and win this one. When this was first listed like 5 days ago, I asked the seller, I was like, hey, would you be willing to take this down if I paid you? I think I asked them originally like 330 bucks. And he was like, no, I think it's worth more along 650, so I'll just let it go in auction. And I told him straight up, I'm like, hey, this lot's not going to go for that much. It'll probably go between 3 and 400. Just to wrap it up now, I will pay you 400 shipped. And I'll have to pay my tax on that as well. But as long as it's 400 shipped, and he just didn't respond. He just completely ghosted me after that. He wasn't interested. So here we are with 30 minutes left in the auction, and we're at 355. We're gonna take a look at the lot, and I'm gonna do a little breakdown for you. I had bid it up to 350, and that was actually where it sat. And then the guy that had bid 350 even, he just submitted another bid, which I'm only assuming is going to be $400 and maybe a couple of cents. Since if this, potential other buyer is smart, he'll see that I threw that extra penny on there. So my bid, once we get closer to the end here, assuming it doesn't get bid up anymore, my bid will be 402.02, just to potentially beat somebody who might be trying to outsmart me. So let's take a look at the lot, and we'll go over it. All right, so here we got the listing here. It's an entire two-row filled to the brim with cards. I would hope he doesn't just ship it in the two-row. I would hope that it's, double boxed at least. But let's go over it here, and I gotta, try and keep an eye on the clock, because I know we do tend to go pretty long here. So we have a ton of the Winter Olympics, just a ton of these autos, and I don't know if any of these names are good. I do know Keely Cashman's like a $2 auto. So it's just kind of like when I see stuff like this and I just don't know it, I put just a simple value on it. So I do like $2 a card on those. And right now, because it's relevant, I might get a little more. But a ton of that stuff's already been open, and the Olympics are ongoing. I'm gonna have to wait for this to get to me, and then the hype might already die down. So I look at those at $2 a card. And then when I can't see what the cards are, if I can't really make out names that well, I just kind of lump them in as like $2 a card. If I really don't know the name, or it's not good enough for me, or if I still think after fees and shipping I'm only gonna make a couple of bucks, I don't really consider it. So when it comes to this RPA there, I don't know who it is. I can't see. I'm assuming $2. Estimate, I think I've heard of a little bit. I'm still paying it at $2. I can't tell exactly who this Americana RPA is, or it might not be a rookie patch auto, but the patch auto here, I put that at like $5. Hayden Hurst, it's a good name, but it is draft. That's probably like a $5 auto. Luke McCaffrey, probably $5. It's numbered. De Silva's probably $2-3. Can't tell who that is. Can't tell who that is. I'm assuming that's numbered at 25 though. So we do have some value in here. Don't get me wrong. A couple NASCARs. We have a Cheryl Ford Auto WNBA. We have a Women's UEFA. We have a Miles Harden from NT. So like, there's a little bit of stuff here. Overall, these 30 autos, I'm valuing them like total probably like $90 just to be safe. Like $90 here. There could be something like I didn't comp anything like this. Hayden Hurst could be a $20 card. I don't know, but I'm putting this at like $90. So this is how I added up in my head. And a lot of these cards won't sell, but we're at $90 so far. So we're gonna go to the next image here. We have 31 mems. There's definitely some in here we can see. There's some we can't see. But a lot of these, excuse me, a lot of these mems are just. I'm gonna have to get some water. A lot of these mems just are kind of cheap. I'll be honest. Even having some NT stuff, they're like $5 a card. We do have a couple JSN patches in here, and they did just win the Super Bowl. This guy timed this lot based around these two cards. He told me that in messages. He's like, there's a couple of JSN patches in there that I think will really boost it up. And I'm just like, dude, these are literally $4 cards, and if they win the Super Bowl, they're $8 cards. Like, you can keep them, and I'll still pay 400. That's what I told him, and he still goes to me. Then we have McCord here. I believe that there's a mem behind him. Nomar Garcia, I think, is right there. That could be numbered. And then we have a bunch of the Olympic stuff right here. Some more Olympic patches. So honestly, when I look at this rough evaluation, I did get some water, by the way, so we're good. Rough, I think that's Frank Thomas right there. But rough evaluation, when I first see this, I'm putting like a $60 value on it. But I'll be honest with you, it's probably closer to like 90. That's probably what I'm gonna put that at. So we're gonna add another 90 bucks to the total because I'm sure I think that's Frank the Tank right there. You know, it's just one of those things where it's like, could I get $5 for a Frank Thomas patch if it's game used? Probably. But you know, I don't know if the Big Hurt is still super like sought after when it comes to game use stuff anymore. Let me just let me pull up Card Ladder real quick. Like, does Frank Thomas still actually sell when it comes to game use patches? Let's do Frank Thomas. Let's see here. Game used. Let's just do Relic. Frank Thomas game used Relic. Yeah, $3.50 on Card Ladder. There's some out there that are a little bit more, like $7. So like, yeah, it's just like, unfortunately, Frank Thomas stuff just doesn't move like it did even just a few years ago. But still, like overall, I think we can probably put this evaluation at like $90 just to be really safe. I'm sure I can make a little bit more, but that's kind of the point. So we have 158 more numbered right here. And when you look at this, I think when I looked at it, I valued this at like 50 cents a card. There's going to be a couple in here that are okay. So if we look here, there are a few. Like I remember definitely seeing a few. Let's see. I don't know if that's DeMar or if that's Gabe Davis. I can never remember if DeMar's too or if it's Gabe Davis. Like that looks like a newer card. So that's probably DeMar Hamlin. You know, that's it shouldn't be, but it is a few bucks. Let's see what else I can just see in here real quick. Like I think there's a few cards in here that have some value. It's not like a ton, but there are a few in here. I know because he took a picture of that. That's a numbered Shadur. That's probably like 10, 20 bucks. There's not much in here. Like I said, I value this at like 75 bucks, and I'm going to stick to that evaluation. I'm going to go $75 there because a lot of those cards will not sell. It is as simple as that. So we have 42 rookies and inserts. This originally, when I looked at it, just a quick glance, you know, I valued it like 20 bucks, but as I looked at it a little bit more, there is a little bit of value in here. We have a Blake Corum XRC. We have 2 Paige Beckers. We actually have a Caitlin Clark chronicled up in the top right. We have 5 Cooper Flag rookies. We do have a white sparkle of, I think there's a better picture of it. I'm not sure. But there is that white sparkle there. There's like an Aaliyah Boston, I think that is. I think it's like $1. You know, there's a couple cards in here that are okay. It's nothing insane. Then there's also a Caitlin Clark My House. That's probably $5. If that's a Sophie Cunningham Diamond My House, that's probably $10. So there is a little bit of stuff in this little section here. So without seeing more, I'm going to put a $60 evaluation on it. Just kind of because of the flags, the XRC Corum, the Sophie and the Caitlin, that's and the Beckers. That's like the majority of the value there for me. And here we do have a little bit of a better picture. So you can see we have a JD5 up there, Red Ice Draft, Corum XRC, a couple Beckers, Clark. Then you have your 4 flags from Holiday. And you have a couple other things, but like nothing insane. It's Justin Haley on the white sparkle there. So there's a little bit of value. So here, this is the toss-up one for me. 95 Winter Olympic numbered cards. You know, I'm going to probably value these genuinely. Like, I don't want to put this in the evaluation sheet. I'm going to value this at like 180 bucks. I mean, that's really what I'm going to put it at. But I just don't think you would get it. I don't think you would. I think a better thing to type in when doing a calculation to play it safe is going to be $100 here. But genuinely, because they're going on right now, and some of these athletes are actually going to do something most likely, you have to be honest with yourself and say, okay, I can probably get, $3 for some, $5 for some, and some will never sell. I don't know if there's a ton of American flags to 76 in here. I would assume there would be. Those will always carry a premium if, it's obviously USA. USA athlete with the American flag. It's gonna do well. Excuse me for continuously coughing. But that's where we're at. I'm gonna type it into my calculator here at $100, but you could genuinely probably get a little more out of this. You just could. I'm pretty confident in that. So this one right here, this is a toss in to me. This is no value to me. Even though there's going to be value, like some of these cards will have value. This is something I won't consider, and I would only list the numbered inserts, the oranges, and popular teams. So like I see some Arsenal players here, Barca, Real Madrid. Like those are the players I would list. Munich down there. What's that? Chelsea. Those are definitely teams I would list. Other than that, no. I'm just not gonna waste my time. A lot of these cards from Women's UEFA are worthless, unfortunately. So here is a closer look at some of the autos for the Olympics, which I like I said, I really did not look into. Looks like that is Jaren Hall. It's going to be a Pulsar. I don't know what those are numbered to, but there's some of those Olympic autos right there. It looks like none of them are numbered, which is kind of interesting. Guess they kept those for themselves or sold them separately. Then we have a separate look here. I guess we can try and take a closer look. Corin something with an N? I don't know. That's going to be AJ Barnett. Don't know if he has really any value or not. Koi Perich. I don't see a number to 25 on there, but I'm still going to assume it is. Elegance for Colorado. I can't tell who it is. But, yeah, a couple close-ups. And then we have some close-ups here. Amador. I don't even know him. So, soccer autos as well. Typically, most soccer autos you can get like $5 for. Now, the women's soccer autos you can actually get a little bit of cash for. Not a ton, but soccer autos seem to actually do well. And then we have the athletes here. Not really going to my evaluation too much. And then we have some of the patches. Jameer is $2. Larry Fitz is unfortunate. If that's game used, maybe it's a little bit more. Can't tell who that is there for the Cubs. That is Frank Thomas up there. Then we got a Miggy there. Okay, that's probably not terrible. 2 Miggies. All right, so that would probably bump it up like $10. I'm gonna keep my original evaluation still, but these are cards that once I would get them, it'd be like, okay, these are nice. I can definitely move these. James Tibbs, James Wood, Matt Shaw. Not terrible. Still can't figure out who that is. And then there's the Shadur. So, there's a whole bunch of stuff in that lot. This Shadur, I bet it's only $10. Looks like we have some of the numbered cards here. Let me just take a look. Shakir? Maybe. McCaffrey? Maybe. A little bit of money. A couple of McCaffreys in there. Neighbors, it's $2. CD, $2. A lot of stuff that is cheap stuff. Like Jordan Travis is worthless. So that's kind of one of those cards. Like there's multiple cards. Like Kyler Murray right now is worthless. So there's going to be cards in here that are worthless. That you need to take that into account when doing your calculations. So kind of just is what it is. I didn't even really look at this pick. So we'll take a look here. See if I see anything. Joe Beasy, draft, numbered. Jamar, numbered. CJ Stroud, numbered. I mean, there's some stuff in here, man. Excuse me. Good Lord. But there's not, like, anything so crazy that it's like, I have to have this. And I'm going to get my money back right away. It's like, no, dude. Like, there's a lot of junk in here. All this combat sports stuff, it's not going to move. I'll just be honest. Signature class is not going to move. This is honestly the first time I'm really looking at this. Because I just did Myles Garrett's like $3 for sure. There's Jared Verse. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Olave's a few bucks. Waddle's a few bucks. So yeah, I mean, Cooper Kupp, that'll help. Not in a Seattle, but still help. Yeah, I mean, there's enough. Terry Bradshaw, it's probably a couple bucks. Kamara's a few bucks. So yeah, there's stuff here for sure. And we do have one final page. It's gonna be getting close to ending here. I just don't want it to get bid up over 400. If it does, I'll probably let it go. I'll probably just pass on it. Dude, I don't know who the fuck that is. That's not DeMar Hamlin though. That's the wrong skin color. Is DeMar Hamlin 3? Okay. So we're actually not done. Here's some of the Olympics. We're gonna get to this one down here in the bottom right. Let's see if I can spot any to 76 just real quick, or any like to 10 or anything low numbered. I'm assuming all that's been pulled out. Yeah, it's just a whole lot of garbage. Yeah, like I said, some of these athletes, 250 at 250. I see that a mile away. We list those at 20 bucks. Just wait for an offer. There's just not much here. Like that could be an orange. That could be okay. Number to 50. But I'm assuming they're shittier athletes. Yeah, there's two right there. That's what I thought. There are two numbered to 76. And it looks like they are gonna be USA. So I don't know if they're all USA or not. It's kind of an oversight for me. Looking at this real quick, Ace Bailey's a couple of dollars. That Aaliyah that I was talking about's a couple of bucks. I mean, there's just not much. So here is the final little piece of the puzzle. So when I saw this, I was like, this is liquid enough where I can at least get probably 10% back, in a day. All this Star Wars stuff will sell right away. So we have the mini diamonds down here. These aren't going to be numbered. These are, you got little Yoda right there, Grogu. I think that's how you say it. We're looking at $3 there, 2, so we're at 5, 7, 9, probably, I think that's just the refractor insert. I don't think it's mini diamond. So we'll call it 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is actually a good card. We're going to bump it up to like 18. That could be numbered. I can't tell. If it is numbered, that's a little bump up. We're going to say 20, 21, 25, 30's pushing it, 33. Then we have, that's Doku, I think, in the different text. So we're actually going to put like $10 on that. It's like 43. We'll call it 45. That text, but bad character. So we'll call it 50. And then we'll do like another 55 here. And then I can't tell exactly who that was. Kind of looks like Han, but I can't really tell. So we're just gonna say like $60 here. And just having another $60 in liquidity is really helpful. So the total out of all of that comes out to $475. Now, that's what I value it as, what I see it from the resale standpoint, like what I'm gonna buy it at. So that's not true value. We'd probably want to throw like, a little more on there for variance and everything else. The guy's original assessment of like $600 isn't really that bad at all, but to think it's going to sell for 600, I think is a misjudgment. Unless one of the whatnot guys, excuse me, is going to be picking this up, he's not going to get it. So at this point, I couldn't see myself paying $475, paying the shipping charges at $8, paying tax. $475 puts me over $500. I couldn't see myself paying $500 for this, but I could see myself paying $400 for this. And even if on this I would only make $150, I feel pretty good about excuse me. Oh my goodness. Cold air must have really ate me up when I was out there fucking shoveling all this like windy hard snow that like turned to ice. So I apologize for the coughing. If I can make $150 here, if I can pay 450 max, I might actually max bid at like 425 just because I might want it. if the guy below me or the guy that bid 350 bid 450, more power to him. I just don't think there's enough here. There is some value, don't get me wrong, but I just don't know if I could see myself paying it. I really don't. So I'm gonna look at the bidder real quick. All right, so this is the guy who's bidding on this lot, and he is bidding on a shitload of stuff that is ending in an hour. That's really good. If he has to micromanage all of this at the same time, odds are there's a lot that's better than this one out there for him. We'll probably actually take down this lot, and I actually feel confident I can max bid 450 and probably beat him. I don't know if I really want to pay 500, man. I don't, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I think I'd actually be willing to just to take the gamble. But yeah, this guy is bidding on a ton of stuff, and he's only thrown 2 bids at it, and it's been kind of nonchalant. So yeah, and he's like not aggressively bidding on stuff either. This is a single. A lot of these are singles. Oh, you know what? We are looking right here. This is the only lot he has bid on. Everything else is a single. That does worry me. So right here is the listing. Yeah, that definitely worries me. So he might be watching it. I think we're gonna throw like a 4. Let's do something weird. We'll do like a 4. We'll do like 455.66. We'll do something like that, and we'll see if we can take this one down. And I will tell you right now, that's a win for us. Winning bid was 446.08. Max bid for me was $456.78. So I'm glad I went over a little bit what I was originally thinking, because we would have lost. That is a 100% confirmation. We did get it after tax, after shipping, after the original cost of what I say it was like 440 or something. We are sitting at a grand total of $482 and change. Unfortunate, but I think we'll still make money on it. Under 500, I think we can make money on it. So once again, now that it is ours, and let's just touch the numbers up a little bit to give more of a rough evaluation of what we'll probably get, since I didn't comp anything. We're going to add $1 to all the previous evaluations. So let me get the calculator out. Let's just say I was way off. And, maybe I wasn't. Maybe it was a good evaluation, but maybe it wasn't. So let's reevaluate the same exact thing. So actually what I'm going to do is take 475. Well, all right, so I can try and figure this out again. Let's just go back through it. It's going to be easier, and then we'll wrap this one up. Let's try and keep it under 30 minutes. So let's say that there's $120 in autos here. Let's say there's $120 in relics. Let's go ahead and value these at $1 a card, 158. Definitely not there, but so I think we valued this at like 60. Let's go ahead and bump that up to 80. And let's value this at 200. It's basically okay. We can take that out. We can do we'll just do like 180. How about that? And then we can give this a value of $20. I really don't value it at all. And then I want to stick pretty close to my original evaluation on the Star Wars right here, which I think was $60. Maybe for some reason Doku is decent. I think that's who that is. Count Doku or Doku. I don't know how to pronounce it. Assuming, and I don't know if this is numbered right here. I mean, that could be something. I can't tell. Well, I guess it says 10 numbered. So we have 1. I can see that's a lava. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, that is not numbered. So I'm going to stick with 60 on that. That one I'm not going to bump up. I think 60 is really fair. That's going to bring us out to $738. If he ships in a 2-row, we'll add, $2 for that. We got to look at all the value here. And then if everything stays top loaded, that is actually going to be a huge, huge win for me. Because that's going to save me a shit ton of money. So there's probably 400 some cards here. So it's going to be about $40 in top loaders. So we're looking at $780 in rough value. then you're going to probably add, I would say you're going to add maybe another 10% for value I missed and don't know anything about. So we'll say another 78 bucks, bring it up to about an $850 lot. And that is the actual value of the stuff, not comp value, just my rough value. And I think I'm right on the money where I want to be at. You know, I might have overvalued some stuff with that. So even if we do drop a decent bit of that off and say it's 750, if I'm at 500 on it, I feel pretty good about that. I definitely think I'll make it back, and there is enough here that's liquid enough for me to get that back. I think we have at least $50 right away back in the Star Wars. Some of the like regular refractors and mini diamonds might take a couple extra days to sell, but if you price the numbered stuff competitively, people need that stuff for sets. Star Wars is liquid, so that'll sell right away. Cooper flags will sell right away. So let's just look at quick look, you know, like liquidity in general, really quick. We probably have 50 bucks there. Just scroll back through it. Probably orange, gold there. I'd say we can definitely on a minimum say like another 30, so we're up to 80. In here, I mean, there was a few things in here that are probably, you know, liquid at $3. We'll just say super liquid. I don't even want to give it that high. We'll just say we're at $100 liquid, especially with the Shadur, but I know it's going to be more than that. Frank Thomas will sell right away at like $5. JSNs will sell right away. So we'll just say we're at like 120 hyper liquid. Then in here, the autos, Cheryl Ford will go right away. De Silva, McCaffrey will go right away. Hayden Hurst will go right away. These will probably go right away. Let's see, this will go. So I'm already seeing like liquid $200 right back right away. Caitlin, Sophie. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I think we're gonna get $200 back right away on this. You can see, congrats on the big win. So we did lock it down, and yeah, man, I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. If I can get half the money back right away, like within a week, that's good enough for I'll sit on everything else. I don't care. And I'll be a little bit more of a hard ass on some of it if I can sell, you know, get 200, 225, 240 back right away. You know, I'll definitely feel good about that. Real quick, then we'll wrap it up. I am curious, what does the Hayden Hurst go for? Because Hayden Hurst is a really sneaky player. He has a really sneaky market where people actually buy his stuff pretty consistently. So let's do Elite Draft Auto. And that is sticker, unfortunately. So that's only $3. I had no idea. Okay. All right. Let's take a look. Let me see. I can't tell what that Luke McCaffrey's numbered to. I can't imagine that's going to be a lot. We're going to probably push over the 30 minutes, but Luke McCaffrey. Let's do auto contenders. It's not going to show me any numbered ones. There's a number to 50 for $10. You know, I'll take that all day. I think what I say that was $5. Where's that? Cheryl Ford auto. Donruss. I'm going to assume 5 to 10 on Cheryl Ford. Yep, $5. So like Cheryl Ford auto is liquid. I still feel good about it, man. I think that Hayden Hurst, it's one of those cards, and I don't know if there's a bunch listed on eBay. Hayden Hurst auto, that's one I'll list at 20, and I'll just let it sit. And if I get a $10 offer on it from somebody who wants it, you know, that's how you make some of the margin. You can't dump everything right away, but you do want to get your money back so you can move it into the next play as soon as possible. But yeah, if I can get half the money back within a week, I'm going to feel really good about that. There is one other option, then we will be wrapping this video up. I could take this entire box to my buddy and just be like, give me a price. And if he tells me anything over $600 or $700, I could just take the money and be good. So that is a little look behind the curtain with buying out sports card collections, how to value them and how to purchase them. Hopefully you enjoyed this and found it informative, because it's going to be such a fun time here actually breaking this one down and trying to make a little bit of cash on it. So I appreciate the view. If you watch this along, consider subscribing, and maybe we'll do more of this in the future. Maybe less expensive lots, though. Maybe. Maybe I'll show you some of my eBay purchases soon. We'll go from there.